Alright, so I was told to check out the Miscellany Genshin Impact trailer so that I can get a better grasp on the characters within the game, and so I can hopefully pick a main by the end of this video. I'm excited to see what these characters are about within the game. After playing the game a little bit, I do have a feel and a better grasp of what the game's about, so when I'm watching these trailers, I kind of feel differently than how I felt when I really hadn't played yet. So it's going to be interesting to see these trailers. I'm interested to see what these characters are about, and I'm hoping by the end of this video I can pick a few candidates for characters I'd want to choose within the game and play as. Should be some fun to watch and see what this is really about. So let's not waste any time and let's just jump right into this reaction. First off, we're starting out with the Dory Business is Booming Genshin Impact trailer. I believe this is one of the newer characters, and then we're going to be going through each and every single Miscellany trailer. Let's jump in.
First met Dory long before she was the infinitely resourceful merchant that you know today, but I could already see that her adorable face was simply brimming with confident determination. Such focus, such passion. Now what kind of grand sorceress would I be if I didn't offer her just a little assistance? I dare say my instincts were right on the mora. That little investment.
I'm assuming this is one of the newer maps.
Come on, let's go. There's
okay, Dory, Electro. Let's see what she about.
A keen merchant like Dory wouldn't dream of turning away a perfectly good business deal just because the customer demands the impossible.
Okay.
No. So long as the price is right on your tall order, Lord Sangama Bay will personally make sure that all your worries are zapped away with the aid of her Electrovision. Any deals that pass through Dory's hands seem to magically yield extra returns.
Ooh.
When Dory crafts character and weapon enhancement materials, she has a chance to recover some of the materials used, which can be set aside for emergencies.
Oh,
Dory's
that's awesome.
Causes her genie to
I don't want to pause too much because this video is going to go on forever, but that's really cool how this character can actually help you save resources. So characters in this game actually help you with different things aside from just fighting. I actually didn't know that. So just off the bat, that's really interesting to me.
Combo up to 3 strikes the deal physical.
This is mostly what I
damage to
expected
enemies.
to see. I was just expecting to see straight up
Hold
attacks.
the attack button and the genie drains stamina over time
Okay,
to perform
cool.
a continuous spinning attack on nearby enemies, dealing physical damage. When the spinning stops, the genie unleashes one final extra strong strike that launches smaller enemies within range.
It just have a lot of passes I didn't realize.
Troubleshooter shots from her spirit warding lamp, dealing electro damage to enemies. To sweeten the deal, when troubleshooter shots hit their target, 2 after-sales service rounds are produced.
Yo, that is sick. So she can hit you, and then there's little homing beams that come out as she's going for the melee attacks, and they home onto the target.
To sweeten the deal, when troubleshooter shots hit their target, 2 after-sales service rounds are produced that automatically track down their nearby enemies and deal
that's
extra
cool.
electro
Oh,
damage.
okay, so no, I was wrong. It's when she shoots out one little electro ball, it disperses into multiple balls and tracks the enemies nearby. That's so epic.
For good measure. After unlocking the talent Compound Interest, when the troubleshooter shots or after-sales service rounds from Dory's elemental skill hit enemies, Dory will restore elemental energy to herself based on her energy recharge rate. Each elemental skill valid for 1 energy recharge only. Energy can be redeemed only up to a certain limit. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, that's cool.
magic lamp.
So she can recover stamina and energy as she fights. That's
when
awesome.
Dory unleashes her elemental burst, she summons the genie from her lamp to provide her customers with a plethora of services. The genie connects to a nearby character, causing them to become affected by electro.
Ooh.
The connected character will continuously restore HP based on Dory's max HP and will
Oh my god. Yo! Yo! So, when she uses her special ability, the other character gets an electric barrier,
causing them to become affected by
and they can steal health.
The connected character will continuously restore HP.
The connected character will continuously restore HP, so it's an electric barrier that basically just keeps them in an infinite state of regeneration.
Based on Dory's
Yo, this is moving fast, but like, holy shit.
max HP, and will also steadily regenerate
That's pretty
energy.
awesome, I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty sick.
When the connector between the genie and the character touches enemies, it will deal bouts of electro damage to them
Oh
at
wow.
set intervals.
So even if they're not an electro character, it gives them electro buff.
At one time. An astute merchant like Dory spots business opportunities everywhere she looks. She must always be ready to provide
Are all the
customers
characters
with
this
the perfect
good?
solution at a moment's
Like, does
notice.
every character have like
After unlocking the talent,
this many abilities? I didn't realize characters had like abilities like this. I'm not gonna lie. I really thought this was just an elemental hack and slash game, but like, it seems like there's a lot more depth to it than I thought. And I'm actually happy that's the case.
Connected to the genie
This is
triggers
awesome.
an electrocharged, superconduct, overloaded, quicken, aggravate, hyperbloom, or an electro.
I can't even keep up with all this. Like,
the cooldown of troubleshooter cannon is decreased.
if I actually pause at everything that interests me, we're gonna be here for like 4 hours. So
any merchant worth their
I'm gonna try to
must
just
have keen
keep
foresight,
check certain
and
things
Dory
out
figures out just what her customers
and
need
talk at
before
some
they've
key
even
moments.
realized themselves. That's why adventurers heading toward danger always seem to find a certain petite peddler waiting for
Awesome.
them, just where the going
I like
starts to
her.
get tough. After entering
I
battle,
don't really have a
Dory
reference
fires
point,
her
but
troubleshooter shots to deal
she seems
electro
pretty
damage
sick.
to enemies, with the after-sales service rounds following up after the initial delivery. When her energy is full, Dory summons forth the genie within the lamp to
Awesome.
provide support to her teammates.
Yo, that genie goes
the genie
crazy.
can connect to a nearby character, causing them to regenerate energy and restore
That's
HP.
so cool.
By moving the character's position, the connection with the genie can be adjusted, dealing electro damage to enemies.
Oh my god,
while
bro.
offering customers a little extra
This is
bang
looking
for their
crazy
buck.
though. This girl looks crazy. I must use her, man.
I've traveled all over the world, met countless people, and helped plenty of them along the way. But Dory is one of the very few who still keeps in touch. I'm not interested in her paying me back, but I do admire
Who's
her
narrating
bold and
this?
daring mercantile methods. Doing business is just like adventuring and inventing. You must go big or go home. You mustn't be skittish and easily deterred. So for my purposes, Dory is a superb partner, and I am only too delighted to place the most ingenious of my personal inventions into her capable hands. An old astrologist friend of mine always harps on about the consequences of handing off these kinds of items.
Astrologist,
But nothing has
who was
come
the
of it yet,
astrologist?
so
I think it was
we'll
Yae Miko,
keep
right?
business as normal.
Dory, yay. No, Yae Miko wasn't the astrologist. She's the firework girl. But damn, Dory looking good. Dory looking great. Move over to the next. Alright, the Collei trailer.
Some time ago, the Forest Rangers of Gandharvaville welcomed a new trainee to their ranks. She's a warm-hearted girl with a radiant smile, always ready to help a forest trekker in need. Like the hardiest plants in the forest, her will to live runs deep, seemingly unbreakable despite the traumas of the past.
Alright, she's one of the newer characters too. I remember her in like the newer
Trainee
trailers.
Forest Ranger Collei, reporting.
Collei, Forest Ranger. Oh, character.
Mondstadt gave Collei an opportunity to turn things
Never
around.
my favorite.
And now Sumeru provides her with a place to grow. Here, she will support those around her with her newly acquired power of Dendro.
Power of Dendro, huh?
Good things come to those who are willing to work toward their dreams.
Very true.
When Collei is in the party, she reduces gliding stamina consumption for your own party members.
Oh, that's
making
awesome.
exploration faster. Collei's normal attack can party members, making exploration faster.
Okay, that's a bit of a buff. That's cool.
Collei's normal attack can combo up to 4 consecutive shots, dealing
Yeah, this is
physical
typical.
damage. With a charged attack,
This
Collei
is also
executes a
typical.
more precise aimed shot that deals increased damage. While aiming, Dendro energy accumulates on the arrowhead. A fully charged arrow will deal Dendro damage.
Okay.
Collei's elemental skill throws a floral ring that deals 1 bout of Dendro damage to each target it hits.
I'm assuming
The
Dendro
floral
damage
ring
is
will
like plant
return after a
damage,
set time, dealing further Dendro damage on the way back.
like the grass element.
After unlocking the talent Floral Sidewinder, if one of your own party members triggers a Burning, Quicken, Aggravate, Spread, Bloom, Hyperbloom, or Burgeon reaction
What the heck?
before the Floral Ring returns, the Floral Ring will grant the character the Sprout effect on its return.
Oh,
The
That's
Sprout
cool.
effect deals Dendro damage to nearby enemies for a set time based on Collei's attack. If the Sprout effect
wow.
is triggered again before it expires, the initial effect will be removed.
Kolinamba, help!
Collei's elemental burst brings her trusty assistant, Kolinamba, into the battle,
okay,
causing
cool.
an
Nice
explosion
AoE.
that deals AoE Dendro damage and creates a Kolinamba zone. Cullen Amba bounds around within the zone, dealing further AoE dendro damage.
Okay. Cool.
Plant life
Yo, you can
thrives
cheese them in
Sumeru
that.
forests, like the hope rejuvenated in Collei's life. After unlocking the talent The Languid Wood, when a character in the Cullen Amba zone triggers a burning, quicken, aggravate, spread, bloom, hyperbloom, or burgeon reaction,
Okay.
the zone's duration will be extended.
Oh, really?
A given Cullen Amba zone's duration.
So if you add a status effect, like he just named, pretty much, I swear he named every status effect. So if I set the middle of that zone on fire, the zone stays for longer and we can get that continual damage in as we attack the enemy. So that continual passive AoE damage will continue longer.
Only be extended in this way by up to a limited amount.
Okay. Cool. Still.
The time that Collei once spent on the run taught her a wealth of survival and combat skills. Though still a trainee forest ranger, her dendro vision gives her the ability to hold her own in many challenging situations.
Oh, wow.
In battle, Collei focuses on casting her elemental skill, aiming to hit as many enemies as possible and generate the sprout effect within the floral ring.
Oh, that's
This
epic.
enables her teammates to deal greater damage through more elemental reactions.
Okay.
When
Wow.
the energy is
Look
full,
at that. So you can...
Collei summons Cullen Amba, whose Cullen Amba zone deals continuous dendro damage.
Oh,
to
wow.
the enemy and
Okay.
creates a fertile ground for elemental reactions. By coordinating with her teammates, the zone can be extended and exploited long enough to root out every last one.
Wow. Okay.
Growth means different things to different people.
Holy.
Some simply wish to grow up in peace, while others pursue loftier goals. As for Collei, she believes that overcoming her past is a necessary step on the long journey to the future she pursues. This is wise, for to overcome is to move forward, not to wallow endlessly in the past. Pity that my former travel companion, for all their years of rumination, lacks Collei's clarity on this. Or perhaps, some situations are simply too complex to be resolved by good intentions and honest effort alone.
Okay. So Collei's an honest character. Alright, Collei's cool. Very cool. Right, now we got the Tighnari trailer. Lost Venture. So far,
Compared
between
to
the two, I
ferocious
definitely
beasts,
picked the first
it's
girl
hard
over
to imagine
Collei.
placid plants ever posing a serious threat to
I
humans.
like the lightning element
But
characters.
deep within the sprawling forest where the vegetation grows unchecked, there is no telling what dangers may lurk within. So never underestimate the rainforest, for life is a formidable force. If you're hoping to pass through the Avidia forest without incident, you would be wise to heed the stern warnings of the Forest Watcher.
Okay.
I'll lead the way.
Tighnari. Another Dendro
Tighnari
character.
believes that the best thing to do with knowledge is to utilize it effectively in everyday life. Applying his botanical expertise in the use of his dendrovision has helped him to both advance his research and protect the rainforest's ecosystem.
Okay, cool. Man out here just trying to protect
To
the
be
forest.
an effective forest watcher requires
I
a
respect
keen,
it.
observant pair of eyes. When Tighnari
Awesome.
is in your party, the location of resources unique to Sumeru will appear on your minimap, making it easier to gather supplies.
Oh, cool. That's good.
Tighnari's normal attack can combo up to 4 consecutive shots, dealing physical damage. With a charged attack, Tighnari executes a more precise, aimed shot that deals increased damage. The shot has different effects depending on how long the charging lasts. At charge level 1, Tighnari fires a dendro-infused arrow that deals dendro damage.
Okay.
At charge level 2, Tighnari fires a wreath arrow that
Oh,
deals
yes,
dendro
2 level
damage.
charges.
After hitting its target, several cluster bloom arrows
I've
are
never
generated
seen this before.
that will auto-target nearby enemies and deal further dendro damage.
Oh, okay.
When the talent
That's
Keen
nice.
Sight is unlocked, after Tighnari fires a wreath arrow, his elemental mastery will be increased for a limited time.
Oh, cool.
Tighnari's elemental skill throws a Vijnana Stormheart ahead of him that deals AoE dendro damage, and creates a
fair
Vijnana
line?
Khanda field,
Ooh.
which summons strange illusions to taunt enemies and draw
Okay.
their fire.
Yo. So, there's some characters that can be used to actually set up attacks for other characters. An ability like this can be used as a distraction in which a more heavy melee fighter could just come in while these guys are in this illusion and start wrecking them. So, I see the use in this.
Also, Tighnari gains the Vinyana Suffusion effect that decreases the charging time of the next
Definitely good to have some people like this on a party.
This effect will dissipate once the duration ends, or after Tighnari has fired a certain number of wreath arrows.
I'll uproot you!
When Tighnari unleashes his elemental burst, he harnesses the power of germination and fires 6 Tanglevine tendrils that automatically target enemies and deal dendro damage. After the Tanglevine tendrils hit their target, a second wave of tendrils is produced that also auto-target enemies and deal dendro damage. After studying the properties of a diverse range of plants, Tighnari gained a wealth of new insight into dendro-infused arrows. After unlocking the talent Scholarly Blade, for every point of elemental mastery Tighnari possesses, his charged attack and elemental burst damage are increased. Damage can only be increased up to a certain limit.
Oh my god, so he can just keep the chain going.
Poorly prepared hikers and fierce monsters are constant troubles in the rainforest. An earnest, informative lecture is sufficient to deal with the former. But in the case of the latter, Tighnari shows no mercy. During battle, Tighnari first uses his elemental skill to create a Vinyana Khanda field to taunt enemies and obtain the Vinyana Suffusion effect. From a safe vantage point, he can now quickly charge and fire wreath arrows. First uses his arrows no mercy.
"17 minutes. I went back.
During battle, Tighnari first uses his elemental skill to create a Vinyana Khanda field to taunt enemies and obtain the Vinyana Suffusion effect.
Yeah. The amount of chaining you can do with
From
this
a
guy
safe
is
vantage
crazy.
point, he can now quickly charge and fire wreath arrows to deal
God.
dendro damage to enemies. When energy is full, Tighnari unleashes his elemental burst, firing Tanglevine tendrils that pursue enemies.
Oh wow, yeah.
2 waves of Tanglevines will home in on enemies to root out the problem at the source. Even as I speak, strange events that I cannot comprehend are unfolding in Sumeru City. Fortunately for Tighnari, though he lacks knowledge of the full situation, his intuition has saved him from becoming entangled in it. In Tighnari's opinion, however profound and esoteric knowledge may be, it does not equal virtue. Elitism and deceit can lead to no good. Ironically, the academia sages who manage knowledge neither comprehend the true meaning of knowledge, nor understand the yearnings of the human heart. Though Tighnari has rejected them several times, still their pleas come time after time to his door.
Damn.
Let's see just where exactly the path of stubbornness and ignorance will lead them in the future.
Okay. Alright, next we got the Shikanoin Heizou trailer. Let's go. Or
Technically speaking, the Tenryou Commission has no formal position called detective. However, formal or not,
I remember this guy.
Goshin Shikanoin is indisputably the Commission's top sleuth. And every co-worker and criminal he has ever met has come to refer to him as that famous detective.
Ooh, okay.
Even the most rigid of rules will bend to accommodate extraordinary talent. And so the young prodigy detective's reputation only continues to grow.
I'm on the case.
Alright.
Heizou prefers to avoid physical combat and prides himself on winning battles with his intellect.
Alright.
However, even he admits that sometimes the martial arts skills that his father made him learn are vital when defending himself in the pursuit of justice.
Okay. So he's like a wind element.
Although cracking cases is a detective's core duty, Heizou believes his true calling lies in preventing would-be criminals from ever committing crimes in the first place. When Shikanoin Heizou is in the party, he reduces sprinting stamina consumption for your own party members,
that's convenient.
making exploration faster. Heizou's normal attack performs up to 5 strikes that deal anemo damage.
Ooh, that's sick.
His charged attack consumes a set amount of stamina to perform a sweeping kick, dealing anemo damage.
Cool.
Tap Heizou's elemental skill to wield the Swift Winds and launch a powerful strike that deals anemo damage.
Oh wow, it seems like it freezes them
Holding
too.
the skill charges.
Wait, so wind users, that actually makes sense because cold air would freeze water, right? So wind users can freeze people too.
Strike that deals anemo
Because
damage.
look, they're frozen. Unless animal damage is ice damage, and I'm being dumb. But I thought animal damage was wind. Animal damage might be ice, actually.
Holding the skill charges
I could
energy
be tripping.
and allows Heizou to obtain up to 4 stacks of the declension effect.
Yeah, I think that might
which
have been ice
increases
damage.
the power of
I'm
the
being
next
dumb.
elemental skill. When the skill button is released, or the skill finishes charging, Heizou
Yeah, he does
strikes
ice
forward,
damage.
dealing anemo damage. When Heizou possesses 4 declension stacks, the conviction effect is produced, further increasing the damage and AoE of the next elemental skill.
Okay, cool.
After unlocking the talent's paradoxical practice, Shikanoin Heizou will gain 1 declension stack when he triggers a swirl reaction on the field. This effect can only be gained once per short period. Strategic use of this effect allows Heizou to quickly gain declension stacks and increase the power of the elemental skill.
Okay.
Sharp investigative
Damn.
instincts enable Heizou to quickly pinpoint the motive and method behind a crime. His sheer brilliance means that many aspire to one day partner with him on a case. When the talent Penetrative Reasoning is unlocked, after Heizou's elemental skill hits an opponent, the elemental mastery of all other party members is increased for a limited time.
Oh wow.
Confess!
When Heizou unleashes his elemental burst, he leaps into the air and kicks the Fudo-style vacuum slugger towards the enemy. The vacuum slugger explodes on hit, creating a wind tunnel that pulls in nearby objects and opponents and deals
Damn.
AoE anemo damage.
Holy,
When
this
vacuum
looks like a
slugger
very
hits
fun
enemies
character to
affected
play.
by Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, or Electro.
Wait, what?
Slugger hits enemies
When vacuum slugger hits enemies affected by
affected
okay.
by Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, or Electro. It afflicts them with Windbuster Iris. Moments later, Windbuster Iris explodes and
Oh, wow.
dissipates, dealing AoE damage of the corresponding elemental type.
Oh, that is cool. That is
Vacuum
cool.
Slugger can inflict a maximum of 4 enemies with the
Oh, that's cool.
Windbuster.
So if you know an enemy's weakness, you hit them with their weakness, then you can change to this character, and like if it's a lot of enemies, you can change to this guy. He can hit them, and you get a big AoE attack in that element that is the enemy's weakness.
Iris. A
All right,
single
I see
enemy
what
cannot
you
be
can do with
affected
this
by
guy.
irises of different elemental types at the same time. Though Shikanoin Heizou always chooses brains over brawn, he is nimble and well practiced in the martial arts of his clan. This plus his keen
Wait, so I'm
sense of
confused.
battle
Is he
judgment
wind or ice?
makes
I'm
him
being
more
dumb, I
competent
swear.
at close quarters combat
Like,
than most
I think he's
imagine.
wind, but he was
In
freezing
battle,
people
the
earlier.
elemental skill is Heizou's
barrier.
main means of attack. A smart offensive allows him to rack up declension stacks and unleash
That's
a more
cool.
powerful elemental
This
skill.
guy looks like the most fun character to play as so far.
When energy is full, Heizou unleashes his elemental burst and uses the vacuum slugger to deal anemo damage. By effectively coordinating with his teammates, Heizou can afflict enemies with the Windbuster Iris, lowering their defenses while assisting his allies.
Oh wow.
For most detectives, finding the truth is the end goal of every case. Once the file is closed and the criminal brought to justice, the satisfied sleuth sits back and congratulates themselves on a job well done.
Okay, yeah.
But even a job well done is not enough for Heizou. Finding the truth is good, but finding a way to dissuade criminals in the first place is even better.
True.
If it were anyone else, I would laugh off their delusions of grandeur. Surely no single detective could hope to reduce crime through the sheer weight of their reputation. And yet, in the case of Shikanoin Heizou, I find myself entertaining a faint and uncharacteristic sense of optimism.
Interesting.
With that said,
Also, who
it
is
a pity
narrating
that
this
a detective
again?
of his caliber was unavailable to take on the case of the deicide of the God of Contracts.
What case is that? Interesting. Cool character. I like it. Kuki Shinobu, Dispelling Disaster. Let's go.
You may be forgiven for wondering how an organization as chaotic as the Arataki gang has managed to survive as long as it has, despite the near-daily conflict they stir up and frequent stints in jail. Somehow, the fallout of their antics is successfully contained time and again. Luckily for them, the Arataki gang does have one member who actually has their head screwed on.
Kuki,
Don't tell me they did it again.
Haha. Oh, this
Kuki
girl, I
Shinobu
remember
doesn't
her.
go looking for trouble, but it always finds its way to her via the company she keeps.
Damn.
This gives her a wealth of experience in
Target by
cleaning up after
affiliation,
others.
huh?
No matter how tricky things get, Shinobu is always able to help her friends out of a tight spot with the aid of her electrovision,
Okay.
deftly diffusing the situation every time. If there were qualifications for expedition expertise, Kuki Shinobu would likely be certified at the highest level.
Oh, wow.
When Kuki Shinobu is dispatched on a 20-hour expedition in Inazuma, she will obtain increased rewards. Kuki Shinobu's normal attack can combo up to 4 strikes, dealing physical damage to enemies. Her charged attack consumes a certain amount of stamina to perform 2 swift strikes to the front, dealing physical damage.
Okay.
When she casts her elemental skill, Shinobu consumes some HP to create a ring of sanctification, dealing electro damage to surrounding enemies.
At the cost of HP, is
The
it
ring of
worth it though?
sanctification follows the active character and periodically deals electro damage to nearby enemies,
Okay, that's cool.
while also healing active characters nearby.
Oh, that's really good.
The healing
that's really
amount
good.
scales with Shinobu's
Oh,
max
yeah,
HP.
that's good. Look how
nearby.
much his health bar is going up.
The
Oh, that's
healing amount
crazy.
scales with
Oh my
Shinobu's max
God.
HP. HP
Yo,
consumed
that's
by
crazy.
her elemental skill will not decrease her HP lower than a certain level.
Okay. And she can just
After
keep healing
unlocking the
too.
talent breaking
Okay,
free,
so it kind of balances out her skill that takes her health because she also has an ability that just keeps her regening. So it balances
when
each other
Kuki
out well.
Shinobu's HP is low, she will gain an increased healing bonus.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, I see. That's it.
Though the Arataki gang causes her no end of trouble, it's the one place Kuki Shinobu has the freedom to be herself.
Awesome.
After unlocking the talent Heart's Repose, the healing effect and damage dealt by Sanctifying Ring will increase, based on Shinobu's elemental mastery.
I'll settle this.
Okay, what is this?
When Shinobu unleashes her elemental burst, she stabs her blade into the ground,
Ooh,
creating a field that excoriates evil.
okay.
This field deals continuous electro damage,
Nice.
based on Shinobu's max HP.
Oh, wow.
When
Okay,
she
based on
casts
her
her
HP.
elemental burst, if Shinobu's HP is low, the field will last longer.
Oh, really?
Kuki Shinobu is uncertain of the criteria for obtaining a vision, but that doesn't stop her from taking full advantage of its power. In combat, Shinobu supports her teammates by using her elemental skill to create a ring of sanctification. Besides healing nearby active characters, the ring also creates ideal conditions
Oh,
for
wow.
elemental reactions, allowing her teammates to easily gain the upper hand. When energy is full, Shinobu unleashes her elemental burst, creating a cleansing field that deals continuous electro damage to enemies in its AoE, paving
Nice.
the way to a decisive victory. To most, the world provides boundless possibilities, and people are free to make their own choices as long as they are ready to accept the consequences.
Okay.
Fortunately, Kuki Shinobu is a talented individual, and the troubles stirred up by the Arataki gang are a price worth paying for her freedom. To thank Kujou Sara for an introduction, Shinobu once treated her to drinks at Uyu Restaurant. I doubt that the Tenryou Commission General could have ever imagined
I'd like
the
to get a
throwaway
little bit
comment
of
she
info on
made
the
over
characters.
drinks with her friend would end up ensuring the longevity
Outside
of the
of just, like,
Arataki
combat.
gang, cementing their place as a thorn in her side for years to come.
Cool. Alright, Kuki looking pretty cool. Now we got Yelan. Faceless Stealth, okay. Alright, so but if I had to say so far best character, it would probably be I'm thinking the grass guy was pretty cool. The grass arrow guy, he was cool. Maybe the first girl still. I still might be on the first girl. I think her abilities were the best, or my favorite at least.
In the business of national security, the public eye poses many restrictions. While trouble brews in the shadows, it helps to bring in special talent. Someone who can move freely between different circles, covering their tracks as they go.
Yelan, is this Yelan? Yeah.
But be warned, this kind of collaboration could cost you, so make sure it's worth the price.
Who's our target this time?
Damn, son.
Yelan is a master of the bow, whose hydrovision takes her abilities to
I didn't know
new
she was
heights.
even a bow user.
Stronger and more daring than most, she thrives in dangerous situations, leading her enemies slowly but surely into her trap. For Yelan, staying alert to new intel of all kinds is second nature. Wherever she goes, whatever she does, she always returns with a wealth of resources. When Yelan is dispatched on a 20-hour expedition in Liyue, she will obtain increased rewards. Yelan's normal attack can combo up to 4 consecutive shots, dealing physical damage. Holding the attack button executes a more precise shot that deals increased damage. While aiming, flowing water accumulates on the arrow.
I don't think I've seen this yet.
A fully charged arrow deals hydro damage on hit. After leaving combat for a short time, Yelan gains the breakthrough effect, which greatly decreases the charge time of her next aimed shot, and fires a breakthrough barb at full charge.
That's cool.
The breakthrough barb deals AoE hydro damage that scales based on Yelan's max HP.
Okay.
When she casts her elemental skill, Yelan moves rapidly using her lifeline, latching onto and marking enemies as she goes. Tapping
that's
and holding
epic.
the skill produce different effects.
That's so cool. What's the lore behind that?
Yelan
You got like a
rapidly
little
dashes
string?
forward a short distance.
Her
While held,
lifeline.
Yelan remains in a rapid movement state and gains
that's it.
increased resistance to interruption while in that state.
So she has a little
During
dash.
this time, Yelan can control the direction she sprints in and can
Is
test
she-
the skill again
Oh,
to
shit.
exit the rapid movement state.
That's so fun. Yo, that's so fun. So I can just run around the enemies, wrap my
and can
string
cast the
around
skill
them, and then
again
set up an
to
attack.
exit the rapid movement state.
Oh, that's so
Using
cool. Even just running. Wait, so just running around them, they get damaged.
Skill. She can quickly approach groups of enemies while easily avoiding some of their
Bro, this is so cool.
attacks. Furthermore, it helps her
What the
explore
hell?
the surrounding terrain more rapidly.
Yeah, she can travel
When
terrain
rapid
fast
movement
too with
ends,
that.
Lifeline will explode.
Yo, and she's
When rapid movement
and she can't be damaged either, is what it looks like. This guy's going in for the attack. She just phases through him.
Lifeline will explode.
How is this not the best character?
And deal hydro damage to marked enemies
It's
based
the
on
best character
Yelan's
I've
max
seen
HP.
so far, by far.
Also,
is-
when Lifeline explodes, the number of enemies marked affects her chance
Wow.
to gain the breakthrough.
Yelan, man, I need her.
The more
I need her on the
enemies
squad.
marked, the higher the chance to
This is the
gain
first character I really feel like I need. Awesome.
Game's up.
Oh my
Fun's
god, I
over.
love this. Yo, this is sick.
When Yelan unleashes her elemental burst, she deals AoE hydro damage to
Hell yeah.
nearby enemies and creates an exquisite throw to assist in
Oh
battle.
wow, look at that.
Exquisite throw follows the active character.
Look at that.
And when they
chain, look at that
perform a
chain.
normal attack,
Oh my god. This
or
is going
Yelan's
crazy.
lifeline explodes and hits an enemy,
Wow.
Exquisite throw will join in
Look
the
at that.
attack, dealing hydro damage based on Yelan's max HP. After unlocking the talent Adapt with Ease,
Oh!
the active character's
Who is
damage dealt
this?
gradually increases while Exquisite Throw
Who is this
present.
dude?
If the elemental burst is cast again while this effect is active, the
I need
effect
this
will be
guy.
cleared. Before the fun of guessing the enemy's next move begins, Yelan inspects her hand and tallies up her strengths. After unlocking the talent Turn Control,
Oh, this girl seems
Yelan's
cool
max
too.
HP is increased.
That fire chick look cool.
Based on the number of elemental types in the party,
Oh, okay.
is increased.
So her max HP is increased based on the variety of elemental types in the party.
Based on the number of elemental types in the party,
That's so cool.
the more elemental types, the greater the increase.
Okay, cool. So you're
Wherever there
rewarded for having variety and diversity within your party. Awesome.
Intrigue, Yelan is in the background, quietly weaving her web.
Yo, Yelan's awesome.
By the
I love
time
it.
her prey notices, it's already too late.
Wow. That's
In
so
battle,
cool.
Yelan likes to open with her breakthrough bomb.
Look at this, bro.
Before using her
that
elemental
looks like
skill
so
to
much fun,
approach
bro.
nearby
I need to
enemies,
play this character.
She ensnares her targets
Oh my
with
god.
lifeline, then lets it explode and deal damage.
Yo, look
After
at that, bro. She's knocking the enemy, and then as they're on the ground, she's running around them, setting up her strings. So as soon as they get up, they're about to get knocked right back down on the ground.
Explosion. If she has the breakthrough effect, Yelan may follow up with another breakthrough bomb to inflict further
this is
damage.
crazy. This is the one bow character I can actually get behind.
When energy
Wow.
is full,
Look at that.
Yelan unleashes her elemental burst to create an
finished.
exquisite throw,
Oh my
providing
god.
hydro damage
Hell
and
yeah.
a damage boost,
Go, Yae Miko. Go crazy.
so the team can round up the remaining foes. Fate is a cruel and perilous thing. It bodes only ill, lurking in dark places like the chasm. To me, that place is the epitome of human misfortune.
Who is
People
to
died
you?
there,
Who are you,
far
bro?
from
Who
their
is this
homes.
narrator?
People with hopes and dreams, dutiful to the bitter end. Different motivations resulted in the same tragic conclusion. People ought to fear disaster, unless they can learn to draw strength from their fear. Perhaps Yelan is just such a unique case. Undeterred by fate's cruel design, there is no path she will not go down in the pursuit of secrets.
Awesome.
But what if, one day, she descends into a place from which there is no escape?
Damn, why is this guy so
Curious,
dark?
by which of her many sides would she see herself be remembered?
Huh. Yo, Yelan seems like the most intriguing character, too. Holy. Interesting. That was an interesting thing he was saying there, huh? Very interesting. Kamisato Ayato, Reflection of the Moon and Flowers. Let's start this one.
Surrounding the epicenter of power is a tangled web of powerful factions, where vested interests and hidden agendas lurk beneath the surface. For someone to not only rise to the top in this environment, but also maintain stability, they must be exceptionally shrewd and highly skilled. Anyone who hopes to meet the man at the top would be wise to first make sure that they know exactly whose side they're on.
Okay.
What's that? Join you for a walk? Why not?
This guy looks like
Kamisato
the
Ayato is the Yashiro
your
Commissioner.
secret.
As heir to
secret
his
lunatic
clan,
type
he has
character.
trained for this role all his life, including in the martial arts. His fighting style channels the power of Hydro through the forms of Kamisato art. A strong current hides beneath
Okay,
the
so we
tranquil
got a Hydro
surface,
sword character.
ready to overwhelm his foes like
Cool.
a flash flood. To the clan leader whose every meal is prepared for him by his staff, cooking is not a necessity, but a pastime. When Kamisato Ayato cooks a perfect dish, he has a chance to obtain a suspicious dish of the same kind. Kamisato Ayato's normal attack can combo up to 5 slashes, dealing physical damage. His charged attack consumes a set amount of stamina to charge forward and perform the Yae technique,
Cool.
dealing physical damage. Tap his elemental skill to shift positions and enter the
that's
Tighnari
it.
Kanka state.
That's sick.
After this shift, a watery illusion forms in Ayato's original position. After forming, the watery illusion will explode if enemies are near or when its duration ends,
This is
dealing
like
AoE hydro damage.
Itachi's ability
While
in
in the
Ninja Storm.
Takemiguri Kanka state, Ayato unleashes
explosion
rapid
clone.
Shinsuiken attacks, converting his normal attack damage into AoE hydro damage that cannot be overridden.
Wow.
After a Shinsuiken attack hits an enemy, Ayato receives the Namisen effect, which increases Shinsuiken attack damage based on his current max HP. The maximum number of Namisen stacks starts at 4.
Yo, this
Stacks
guy's
can
just
be
not-
gained via Shinsuiken attacks once per set
Wow.
time period, and disappear when the Takemiguri Kanka state ends. Also, while in the Takemiguri Kanka state, Ayato's resistance to interruption is increased, but he cannot perform charged or
So he has a bit of super armor. This is the first character I think we've seen today who has like a bit of super armor. If you guys played Smash Bros.
plunging attacks.
A little bit of super armor there. Cool.
After unlocking the talent Mineo Matoishi Kiyotaki, Ayato receives 2 Namisen stacks immediately after casting his elemental skill. And when the watery illusion explodes, Ayato gains a Namisen effect equivalent to the maximum number of stacks.
Ooh.
Kamisato art. Suiyu!
When Ayato unleashes his elemental burst, he unveils a garden of purity that silences the cacophony within.
Oh, wow.
While this space exists,
This is the biggest
blue
AoE I've
water
seen
blades
today.
rain down continuously, attacking enemies within range and dealing hydro damage. The normal attack damage of characters within this space is also increased. Ripples on water destroy the immaculate face of the moon in its midst, but it regains its composure the moment after they pass. After unlocking the talent Michiyuku Hagetsu, when Ayato is not on the field, if his elemental energy is below a certain threshold, he continuously regains energy. Kamisato Ayato keeps a low profile and rarely shows his true talents, but when those lured into a false sense of security seek to move against him, he is only too happy to deal with them himself. The Shinsuiken is Ayato's main means of attack.
Okay.
During battle, Ayato coordinates with his teammates to produce hydro-based elemental reactions and take down groups of enemies with a barrage of Shinsuiken
This is
strikes
busted.
to
Like, you
gain
can
the
just
upper
spam
hand.
this,
When energy is
and
full,
they just infinitely
Ayato
frozen.
unleashes his elemental burst, unveiling a garden of purity, which
Like,
increases
wow.
party members' normal attack damage and sets
Okay.
the stage for further
party
elemental
members also
reactions
get buffed while
to
he's
flush
in this
out
mode.
any final remnants.
That's really cool.
Many years ago, the Yashiro Commission faced upheaval for their transgressions. The Kamisato clan survives today because they found favor in the eyes of a god, but they bear an eternal obligation to be guardians of the divine.
Oh.
If you ask the head of the Kamisato clan what he truly holds sacred, I dare say the will of the gods would not be his answer.
Ah.
And so, though Kamisato Ayato appears to handle his affairs with consummate ease, when all is said and done, he is simply an ordinary soul caught between the divine and the mundane. If there comes a day when the instruction of the gods conflicts with that which he has sworn to protect, how then will he preserve his delicately maintained stability?
Okay, so it seems as though the narrator is basically always talking about what the character's beliefs are and what would they do if those beliefs were tested. That's what I've been noticing with each and every character when it ends. What will this character do if those beliefs are put to the test? And I'm assuming that's what's going to happen, or that's what happens within the story arcs. Interesting. Cool. Alright, now we got Yae Miko, the Mocking of Atenko.
Yae Miko is a divine kitsune, as the Electro
Oh,
Archon's
it's this
familiar
girl.
and Guji
This
of
girl
the Grand
seemed cool.
Narukami Shrine. Her dignified presence commands awe and respect. But as chief editor of the Yae Publishing House, and a patron and participant of festivities, her crafty tone keeps you guessing. This leaves many uncertain of how to deal with the majestic but mystifying Miko. In reality, however, if you want to make Lady Guji smile, you needn't deliver an eloquent speech. You simply need to say these 4 magic words. Something amusing just happened.
Whatever would you do without me?
In Yae Miko's eyes, shooing away pesky intruders is a tedious task that does not require her personal involvement. She can leave this to the kitsune spirits.
Ooh, cool.
Only when her curiosity is aroused will Yae Miko show her fabled fox form and summon
Oh,
lightning
wow.
plummeting from above. It's said that those lucky enough to witness this spectacle never live to tell of the tale. With her age and experience, Yae Miko is one of the most learned in the land. Even if the spur-of-the-moment stories she enjoys telling make this hard to believe. When Yae Miko crafts character talent materials, there is a chance to obtain 1 extra random item of the same region.
Oh. What the heck?
This item has the same rarity as the material consumed.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yae Miko's normal attack
That's dope.
performs up to 3 consecutive attacks, dealing electro damage. Her charged attack consumes a set amount of stamina and deals AoE electro damage after a short casting time.
Awesome.
Tap her elemental skill,
she got a
and
little
Yae
dash,
Miko
too.
moves swiftly, leaving behind a Seisho Sakura. While on
Does
the
that do
field,
damage?
it periodically strikes one nearby enemy with lightning, dealing electro damage. This skill has 3 charges, and a maximum of 3 Seisho Sakura can exist at one time.
Okay.
If another Seisho Sakura is nearby, its level is increased, meaning
Oh
its
wow, it
lightning
just
strikes
continuously
deal more
damages
damage.
enemies for a little while.
Initially, Seisho Sakura are created at level 1, and the maximum level is 3.
Okay, cool.
By strategically spacing the Seisho Sakura, Yae
Okay,
Miko
so every
can
time you
quickly
dash,
create
it
an
leaves
ideal
one.
formation to increase their damage level and put her enemy in a difficult position.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh
When
wow.
the Kuki of the shrine recites a blessing,
So
thunder
this is kind of like a lightning version of Yelan's ability with the strings. She kind of had the strings going.
roars in response. After unlocking the talent Enlightened Blessing, Seisho Sakura damage is increased based on Yae Miko's elemental mastery.
Wow.
I'm always
Oh
watching.
my god, this character is sick.
When Yae Miko unleashes her
That shot, man, that shot goes
she
crazy.
summons a lightning strike, dealing AoE electro damage. When cast, Yae Miko unseals nearby Seisho Sakura, destroying their outer forms and transforming them into Tenko Thunderbolts, dealing further AoE electro damage. For each Seisho Sakura destroyed in this way, one Tenko Thunderbolt strikes down. After unlocking the talent, the Shrine's Sacred Shade, when Yae Miko casts her elemental burst, each Seisho Sakura destroyed resets the cooldown for one charge of her elemental skill. Don't let Yae Miko's graceful outward appearance fool you into thinking she is gracious in temperament, for that would be a fatal error. During battle, Yae Miko does not think twice before unleashing Seisho Sakura. She ensnares the enemy in a perilous position, dealing damage and creating opportunities for teammates to attack. When energy is full, Yae Miko unleashes her elemental burst, unsealing nearby Seisho Sakura and summoning Tenko Thunderbolts to make sure these tiresome foes disappear for good. In storytelling skill, the writers of the Yae Publishing House are my superior. When I get talking, I tend to speak of true historical events. But under Chief Editor Yae's guidance, works of sheer fantasy thrive, accounting for the vast majority of popular light novels.
Okay.
Maybe in another few centuries, archaeologists will find books filled with pure fiction, mistake them for rare historical records, and draw all kinds of conclusions from them. Perhaps by then, the truth of the past will be consumed as entertaining fiction.
Wow.
Its
That's an
only
interesting
purpose
thing.
to meet people's
about.
need for novelty, save for the sneering of the kitsune. All that will remain is the despairing sighs of the long forgotten.
Ah. Interesting. Yae Miko. I'm liking her. I'm liking her. When I say she's better than Yelan, personally, actually, no, she actually is pretty good. You know what? I don't know. That's a tough one, but not really. Not sure in her yet. I'm not sure if I would go for her. Shenhe. Let's
Although
go.
the paths through the lofty peaks of Jueyun Karst are arduous, there are always bright-eyed mortals who come seeking the adeptal path. For all their ambition, most mere mortals cannot fathom the way to the Adepti, and return from their fruitless journeys disappointed. Yet those fortunate enough to encounter some hardship may suddenly find themselves being rescued by a divine young lady. Stunned by the elegance of their silver-haired savior, they hastily begin bowing excitedly in reverence and admiration, only to find their adeptus rescuer remain indifferent and leave without even a second glance.
I will do as you command.
Though Shenhe is often mistaken for an adeptus, she is actually a mortal, albeit one who is an accomplished adepti disciple.
Adeptus? What is an
Being
adeptus?
naturally gifted, and having learned polearm combat and various adeptal arts from her masters, exorcising evil spirits is a mere trifle to her. Under her master's tutelage, Shenhe trained diligently, producing impressive results. When Shenhe is dispatched on a 20-hour expedition in Liyue, she will obtain increased rewards. Shenhe's normal attack can combo up to 5 strikes with her polearm, dealing physical damage. Shenhe's charged attack consumes a set amount of stamina to lunge forward, dealing damage to enemies in her path. When she casts Spring Spirit Summoning, Shenhe grants all nearby party members the Icy Quill effect and deals cryo damage in different ways based on whether the skill is tapped or held. When tapped, Shenhe will rush forward with a Talisman Spirit, dealing cryo damage to enemies along her path.
Instant freeze?
When held, Shenhe commands the Talisman Spirit
if you hold it,
to deal AoE cryo damage to surrounding enemies. When party members are affected by Icy Quill,
that's awesome.
Normal, charged, and plunging attacks, elemental skills, and elemental bursts that deal cryo damage to enemies deal increased damage based on Shenhe's current attack. The Icy Quill's effect will be cleared once its duration ends, or after being triggered a certain number of times. When the skill is held rather than tapped, the effect lasts longer and can be triggered more times. When a party member with the Icy Quill effect deals an instance of cryo damage to multiple enemies, the effect is triggered multiple times according to the number of enemies hit. The number of times Icy Quill's effect is triggered is calculated separately for each party member. After unlocking the talent Spirit Communion Seal, when Shenhe
in this case, you would be rewarded for having a team of cryo characters. Because with her ability and having people can do cryo damage, this is just insane. She complements that perfectly.
Spring Spirit Summoning. She grants additional effects to all nearby party members. Tapping the skill increases their elemental skill and elemental burst damage.
So
the skill
increases their damage in general.
Their normal, charged, and plunging attack damage.
You don't even need to just have cryo. She still gives buffs. Awesome.
Cryo Incarnate.
Cryo, not Cairo. Cryo.
Shenhe unleashes the power of the Talisman Spirit, allowing it to roam free, dealing AoE cryo damage. The Talisman Spirit then creates a field, which decreases the cryo and physical resistance of enemies within, and also deals periodic cryo damage to them.
Look at that.
After unlocking the talent Deific Embrace, an active character within the AoE of Divine Maiden's Deliverance will gain a cryo damage bonus. Shenhe is fated to bear the curse of calamity. As cautioned by the Adepti, she is careful to avoid harming the innocent. But as for those with malicious intent, she is only too happy to put them in their place by giving them a taste of the Adepti arts. Shenhe's Spring Spirit Summoning is the core of her skill set, offering support to other cryo party members with the Icy Quill effect. In battle, proficient use of her elemental skills tap and hold effects allows Shenhe to shine by enhancing the party's attack capabilities. When energy is full, Shenhe unleashes her elemental burst, decreasing enemies' cryo and physical resistance, and creating the opportune moment to defeat the weakened enemies.
These zone attacks seem to be like the meta for like mob fighting.
Liyue Harbor is known as a bustling melting pot of a city, ready to welcome any and every lonely figure. But if Shenhe truly wishes to rejoin human society, there is much she will have to learn. Even I myself do not relish the solitary life I lead. When others are fortunate enough to meet a companion for their journey, I sincerely wish them the very best. After all, to this day, I hold that people should be authors of their own fate. Both the crane ready to make peace with the past, and the beast with a grudge to bear, have the freedom to make their journey home.
I like that philosophy. Cool. Gorou, forward unto victory. Now, that character we just looked at was looking like, honestly, yeah, probably the second best or best character I've seen. She's definitely a character I'm going to be considering.
In the vast and mysterious world of Teyvat, there are as many ways of life as there are people. Some heed the call of duty, others the call of freedom. Some follow their beliefs, others their talents. A few trust their instincts and rise to shoulder great responsibility, a prime example being General Gorou of Watatsumi Island. Since you never know what the enemy might throw at you, the key to surviving the chaos of battle is being able to adapt in the moment.
Keep your weapon at the ready. You never know what's around the corner.
Yeah.
Gorou has endured countless battles in his time, and this experience has taught him one important lesson. However strong you may be, war is never a one-man job.
That's facts.
As a commander, Gorou is constantly looking out for his troops, offering his protection and support, right alongside them on the front line. Gorou has always loved the great outdoors. His keen sense of smell makes him an expert at tracking down resources. When Gorou is in your party, the location of resources unique to Inazuma will appear on your minimap, making it easier to gather supplies.
We've seen a character like this earlier.
Gorou's normal attack can combo up to 4 consecutive shots, dealing physical damage.
Alright.
With a charged attack, Gorou executes a more precise aimed shot that deals increased damage. While aiming, stone crystals accumulate on the arrowhead. A fully charged arrow will deal geo damage.
Geo damage, huh?
Tap Gorou's elemental skill to employ Inuzaka all-round defense, dealing AoE geo damage, and erecting a general's war banner. Hold the skill to adjust the banner's position.
Oh, cool.
The general's war banner provides buffs to active party members within its AoE.
Assuming defense buffs.
And the more Geo characters in the party, the stronger the buffs.
Okay.
If the party contains 1 Geo character, the buff is Standing Firm, which increases the active character's defense.
Okay.
If there are 2 Geo party members, the buff is Impregnable, increasing both defense and resistance to interruption.
Ooh, okay.
And if there are 3 Geo party members, the buff is Crunch, which increases defense and resistance to interruption, while also providing a Geo damage bonus.
Wow.
Gorou can only deploy a single general's war banner at any given time. Also, characters can only benefit from 1 general's war banner at a time. Any active buffs will be cleared shortly after the character leaves the banner's AoE.
Huh.
Everyone on me!
Gorou displays his general's valor, dealing AoE geo damage, and creating the General's Glory field to embolden his comrades. General's Glory provides the same buffs as the General's War banner created by Gorou's elemental skill. Various buffs are provided to the active character in the skill's AoE, based on the number of Geo characters in the party.
About defense and resistance.
But this field moves with the active character. At regular intervals, a crystal collapse occurs, dealing AoE geo damage to 1 enemy within the field, and pulling an elemental shard from the crystallize reaction to the active character's location.
Oh, cool. Okay.
When Gorou uses his elemental burst, if there is a general's war banner on the field, it will be destroyed. Also, while General's Glory is in effect, using Gorou's elemental skill will not create a general's war banner. After unlocking the talent Heedless of the Wind and Weather, all nearby party members receive a temporary defense boost after Gorou uses Juga forward unto victory.
Holy!
For the gifted to find their true
this
call.
guy's character build revolves around using that AoE ability that buffs his teammates and himself. Okay, interesting.
Someone must first recognize their talent.
For a bow character.
Gorou knows this well. He is eternally grateful and staunchly committed to Watatsumi Island's defense.
That's an interesting
After
approach.
unlocking the talent A Favor Repaid, Gorou's elemental skill damage, burst damage, and crystal collapse damage are all increased by an amount based on his defense. Gorou's unique skill set provides excellent support to Geo Party members.
Nice.
Deploying the General's War Banner to establish an optimal formation before launching the offensive is the core of Gorou's prowess as a general. When he joins forces with other Geo comrades, his General's War Banner provides a diverse array of buffs, aiding the party both in offense and in defense. When his energy is full, unleash Gorou's elemental burst to establish the General's Glory field, creating the perfect moment to attack and inspiring the whole party to press forward unto victory.
Okay. Cool.
Whether they seek it or not, those of exceptional ability and character tend to gain the trust of the masses. For Gorou, this trust serves both as a confirmation of his abilities and motivation to hone them continuously. But the cost of being someone that everyone relies on is the burden of responsibility that it brings. Everything from helping the troops with their daily struggles to keeping Watatsumi Island safe and secure ultimately falls on Gorou's shoulders.
The protector.
Time and fate treat such notions with contempt, which can make the burden unbearably heavy. If one day the world is turned upside down, will his instincts and determination alone provide him with enough strength to keep carrying the load he bears?
Yeah, good question. I'll find the answer to that when I get to that storyline. Alright, now we got the Arataki Itto trailer, Supreme Super Strength.
In recent years, the efforts of one young Crimson
The man himself
have earned the loud and proud Arataki gang a certain measure of fame in Inazuma City's Hanamizaka district. Or perhaps that should be infamy. Either way, when it comes to their founder and leader, Arataki Itto, everyone has to agree he's one of a kind.
Arataki numero uno Itto here in the flesh.
If you claim you've never heard of the Arataki gang, don't be surprised if Itto takes it as an intentional provocation. In protest, he'll lift his hefty claymore and show off a few of his signature charged attacks. Just so everyone knows who's the baddest Oni in town. Arataki Itto brags that with his Oni strength, even the sturdiest of trees can be felled. With Arataki Itto in the party, when your party members attack trees to obtain wood resources, they have a chance to get an additional log of wood.
That's awesome.
Arataki Itto's normal attack can combo up to 4 strikes. When his second and fourth strikes hit enemies, Itto will gain 1 or 2 stacks of superlative super strength, respectively, up to a max of 5 stacks. For a short time after sprinting or using his elemental skill, Itto can continue his normal attack chain where it left off. When performing a charged attack, if Itto has any superlative super strength stacks, he will unleash Arataki Kesagiri slashes without consuming stamina. Each slash consumes 1 stack of superlative super strength. When the last stack is consumed, Itto delivers a powerful final slash. If no superlative super strength is available, Itto's charged attack consumes stamina to perform a single Saichi Monji slash. After unlocking the talent Arataki Ichiban, when Arataki Itto uses Arataki Kesagiri, he slashes with increased attack speed, and his resistance to interruption is also increased. These effects will be cleared once he stops performing consecutive slashes. Tap Itto's elemental skill, and he hurls Ushi, the young Akaushi bull and auxiliary member of the Arataki gang, dealing geo damage to enemies. When Ushi hits enemies, Arataki Itto gains a stack of superlative super strength. Holding the elemental skill button allows Itto to adjust Ushi's throwing angle. Ushi inherits HP based on a percentage of Arataki Itto's max HP, and continuously taunts surrounding enemies.
Little distraction.
When Ushi takes damage, Arataki Itto gains a stack of superlative super strength. Ushi will flee when its HP reaches 0 or its duration ends, and Arataki Itto gains a stack of superlative super strength as it leaves. Ushi is considered a geo construct, and Arataki Itto can only deploy 1 Ushi on the field at any one time.
Oni coming through!
When Itto unleashes his elemental burst, he lets out his inner raging Oni King for a time, and wields his Oni King's Kanabo in battle. For the burst's duration, Itto's elemental and physical resistance are decreased, but his normal, charged, and plunging attacks are converted to geo damage that cannot be overridden. Also, Itto's normal attack speed is increased, and his attack is increased based on his defense.
He seems like a really fun character to play.
During the Raging Oni King stage, when the first or third strikes of his attack hits an enemy, Itto gains a stack of superlative super strength.
This guy seems like a really fun character.
With adept use of this effect, Itto can overwhelm the enemy with more Arataki Kesagiri slashes.
Yeah, this guy's
and vaunt the might of the Arataki gang.
This guy looks awesome.
Itto's Crimson Oni bloodline is not only a point of pride, it's his source of strength in battle. After unlocking the talent Bloodline of the Crimson Oni, Arataki Kesagiri damage is increased by an amount that scales with Itto's defense.
Oh, gee.
Arataki Itto's life is one where a new challenger could appear at any moment. But as a self-professed tough guy, he won't go down without a fight. No matter who the opponent, he's always itching to show off his awesome skills and attain victory with style.
Ooh.
During battle, Arataki Itto uses his normal attacks and elemental skill to accumulate stacks of superlative super strength, then batters the enemy with the Arataki Kesagiri charged attack. When his energy is full, Arataki Itto unleashes his elemental burst to enter the Raging Oni King state, greatly enhancing his abilities. In this state, Itto can quickly stack up that superlative super strength and use Arataki Kesagiri slashes to crush those who dare challenge him.
Nice.
Compared to his peers, Arataki Itto has lived a colorful life and is familiar with the inside of a prison cell, fully qualifying him as the rightful leader of the Arataki gang. Though some may contest his way of handling things, the members of this young Crimson Oni's gang choose to follow him, despite the diet of grilled lavender melon.
Huh.
Well, it's one way of living.
This guy seems like a really cool guy.
And ultimately, surviving on sporadic work and next to no mora is still an easier task than trying to deny your destiny.
Interesting. Cool. Arataki Itto. What star? Oh yeah, I just took in. Does it said the star level of the character, didn't it? No, it didn't actually. Alright, now we got Thoma, Crimson Armor of Loyalty.
Strict regulations govern everything in Inazuma. Outlanders looking for a home away from home face many obstacles here. So how did a Mondstatter called Thoma earn a reputation as a local fixer and secure a job with the Yashiro Commission? Is this a testament to the Kamisato clan's magnanimity, or to Thoma's exceptional abilities?
Thoma?
Where are we headed this time?
Thoma is well connected and values his companions both in everyday life and in combat. He fights to defend the ones he holds dear. When crisis comes, Thoma's urge to defend kicks in as he dons his armor and grabs his polearm to help his friends fend off their foes with scorching flames. He is someone that his team can always rely on. Thoma takes to new life skills like a fish to water. After arriving in Inazuma, he quickly learned how to partake of the bountiful blessings found in the nation's waters. After Thoma becomes your travel companion, when travelers go fishing in Inazuma, there is a certain chance to receive double the catch with Thoma's help.
Nice.
Thoma's normal attack can combo up to 4 strikes, dealing physical damage. Holding the attack button, Thoma consumes a certain amount of stamina to perform a charged attack, lunging forward and dealing physical damage to enemies in his path. Tap Thoma's elemental skill, and he vaults forward with his polearm to deliver a flame-filled flying kick, dealing AoE pyro damage, while also summoning a defensive blazing barrier. At the moment of casting, this skill applies pyro to Thoma. The blazing barrier absorbs damage and is especially effective against pyro damage. The damage absorption scales off of Thoma's max HP. Also, when a new blazing barrier is obtained, the existing barrier's damage absorption will stack, and the duration is refreshed. The blazing barrier's damage absorption cannot exceed a certain percentage of Thoma's max HP.
I got you covered!
When Thoma unleashes his elemental burst, he spins his polearm, slicing at his foes with roaring flames, dealing AoE pyro damage, and producing a scorching Oyoroi. While scorching Oyoroi is in effect, the active character's normal attacks will trigger fiery collapses, dealing AoE pyro damage, and summoning a blazing barrier. Except for the amount of damage they can absorb, the blazing barriers created in this way are identical to those created by Thoma's elemental skill. After unlocking the talent Flaming Assault, damage dealt by Crimson Oyoroi's fiery collapse is increased by an amount that scales with Thoma's max HP. Thoma's robust defense will not be torn down easily. It gets all the more resilient as the battle heats up. After unlocking the talent Imbricated Armor, when a blazing barrier is obtained or refreshed, the active character's shield strength is increased. Thoma is a dependable companion. He ardently believes in defending others. Even in the fiercest of battles, you can trust him to have your back.
Awesome.
During battle, Thoma uses Blazing Barrier to protect other party members, allowing them to safely go on the offensive.
Ooh.
When he casts his elemental burst, the Scorching Oyoroi provides both attack and defense. Party members under Scorching Oyoroi's protection benefit from increased odds of survival and can also trigger fiery collapses with their normal attacks.
Nice.
The pyro damage support that Thoma provides in this way further enhances the party's attack capabilities.
Very nice.
As an outsider in Inazuma, Thoma is often viewed as someone who doesn't belong. To this day, many believe the slander behind his back. But through his own hard work and the Kamisato clan's tolerant attitude, Thoma has carved out a space for himself here, despite the somewhat hostile environment.
Damn.
Occasionally a thought crosses my mind. If one who has turned their back on the gods ever chose to follow them once more, would any such favorable treatment be extended to them? Regrettably, no opportunity of this nature exists, nor would I have the desire to take it. Over centuries of futility, I have at least learned one thing. So long as you have determination, you can always keep going. A defender's will is a precious thing, and hatred can serve to nourish it.
Interesting. It's always interesting to hear the different characters' philosophies that we get within these little trailers. He seems like a really cool character. Kujou Sara.
The Tengu of Inazuma dwell in the mountain forests, rarely appearing in human society. To live among humans as Kujou Sara does, not to mention serve as their army general, is almost unheard of. One wonders if, in her eyes, the profound seclusion of the densely wooded mountains and the eternity pined for by the Raiden Shogun bear any similarity to each other.
I will lead us to victory.
Alright.
As general of the Tenryou Commission, Kujou Sara is a fearless warrior and a formidable leader. As one of Tengu blood, she can summon the mighty power of Tengu Jurai to rouse her troops, as she leads them into the heat of battle. The Tengu are known for their agility, and Kujou Sara knows Inazuma exceptionally well, as her role requires her to move around frequently and rapidly. When Kujou Sara is dispatched on an expedition in Inazuma, she completes the task in a reduced time.
Okay.
Kujou Sara's normal attack can combo up to 5 consecutive shots, dealing physical damage. Holding the attack button executes a more precise shot that deals increased damage. While aiming, crackling lightning accumulates on the arrowhead. An arrow fully charged with the storm's might will deal electro damage to enemies on impact. When Kujou Sara casts her elemental skill, she retreats rapidly with the speed of a Tengu, then summons the protection of the Crow Feather in the form of Crow Feather Cover.
Oh, that's awesome.
When Kujou Sara fires a fully charged aimed shot, Crow Feather Cover is consumed, and a crow feather is left where the arrow strikes. After a short duration, the crow feather triggers Tengu Jurai Ambush, which deals electro damage to enemies in its AoE, and grants the active character within its AoE an attack bonus, based on Kujou Sara's base attack.
So yeah, it's like a landmine.
Skilled use of this technique allows Kujou Sara to rapidly evade enemy attacks, and also set the stage for a robust counterattack from an advantageous position. After unlocking the talent Immovable Will, after gaining Crow Feather cover by casting her elemental skill, Kujou Sara's aimed shots reach full charge more quickly. Kujou Sara is an intelligent and capable general. Troop morale is all the stronger just for knowing she is in command.
Yeah.
After unlocking the talent Decorum, when Tengu Jurai Ambush hits an enemy, all party members restore some energy, the amount of which is based on Kujou Sara's energy recharge. This effect can be triggered once per set time period.
Glory to the Shogun!
Kujou Sara casts down Tengu Jurai Titanbreaker, dealing AoE electro damage. Afterwards, Tengu Jurai Titanbreaker spreads out into 4 consecutive bouts of Tengu Jurai Storm Cluster, dealing AoE electro damage. Both Titanbreaker and Storm Cluster can provide the active character within their AoE with the same attack bonus as given by Tengu Jurai Ambush. The attack bonus provided by various kinds of Tengu Jurai cannot be stacked. The effect and duration is determined by the last Tengu Jurai to take effect. Kujou Sara is a seasoned warrior
basically stacking that damage.
and a leader greatly admired by her subordinates. She uses the secret techniques of the Tengu to bolster her forces and empower them to win victory after victory. In battle, Kujou Sara must make deft use of her elemental skill to adjust her strategic position and use charged shots to trigger Tengu Jurai Ambush, dealing damage to the enemy while providing attack bonuses to teammates, and restoring energy for the whole party. When energy is full, Kujou Sara unleashes her elemental burst to assault the enemy, and once again provide a Tengu Jurai attack bonus, paving the way for her forces to swoop in and crush the enemy's defenses. As a Tengu raised by humans, Kujou Sara heeds the call of humanity, forsaking her own kind, to fight for the mortal world in battle. Perhaps those who achieve such outstanding feats are too satisfied with their own brilliance to realize that their god has raised them in a prison. Sometimes I cannot decide whether the greater tragedy is to have lost all one's own ambition or to have adopted the wishes of a god as one's own.
Huh. A lot of talk about gods in this game. Interesting. Seems like they're very prevalent. Huh. Okay. It's really hard to distinguish which character I would personally go for. I don't know. I'd have to see like a tier list maybe on like what people are thinking about the characters. Who's good, who's not good. It's really hard to tell from these videos, but like I know what characters look cool. That's what I can say. But let's jump into this next one. We got the Aloy Mystical Glow of Frost trailer.
If memory serves me right, the last time an Outlander visited Tibet was centuries ago. Imagine my surprise
this the girl
when
who was
I
brought from
discovered
another
yet
world.
another guest during my most recent travels. A machine hunter, an outcast of the Nora tribe.
Okay.
Oh my, I cannot wait to learn more about her and her abilities. Let's not dilly-dally and begin our research.
Aloy here. I don't know this world, but my arrows are sharp and my bow's ready.
Okay.
Based on my observations, Aloy is highly proficient with a bow and arrow. She can limit her prey's mobility with the power of cryo, aiding companions in setting up ambushes. Rejected by her tribe since birth, Aloy gained her hunting prowess under the watchful eye of an experienced hunter. Like any successful adventurer, hunters never rush into danger. One must tactfully hide and wait to strike. When Aloy is in the party, animals that produce foul, raw meat, or chilled meat will not be startled when approached.
Oh.
Aloy's normal attack deals physical damage and can combo up to 4 consecutive shots.
Nice.
For a more precise aimed shot with increased damage, hold the attack button. Aiming will also accumulate frost on the arrowhead, which will deal cryo damage once fully charged. Tap Aloy's elemental skill to throw a freeze bomb in the targeted direction that explodes on impact, dealing cryo damage.
Okay.
When
That's
it detonates, the bomb will split into chill water bomblets that explode on contact with opponents or after a short delay, dealing cryo damage. Such an ingenious blasting design. When a freeze bomb or chill water bomblet hits an opponent, the opponent's attack is reduced, and Aloy receives a coil stack, which increases her normal attack damage.
Okay.
When she has 4 stacks, the coil effect is removed.
Yeah.
And Aloy gains Rushing Ice for a set time period, which additionally increases her normal attack damage and converts her normal attack damage into cryo damage. While under the effect of Rushing Ice, Aloy cannot receive new coil stacks. Coil effects will be cleared once Aloy leaves the field for a set time. After unlocking the talent Combat Override, for a certain duration after gaining the coil effect, Aloy increases the attack of all party members. This effect cannot stack.
The hunt is on!
Damn, that looks great.
Aloy throws a power cell filled with cryo in the targeted direction, then detonates it with an arrow, dealing AoE cryo damage. An explosive infused with elemental energy. Remarkable. If utilized in the right time and place, its effectiveness will be indisputable. A good hunter can deliver a decisive blow or hold their own during a long battle. After unlocking the talent Strong Strike, when Aloy is in the Rushing Ice state conferred by Frozen Wilds, her cryo damage bonus gradually increases. Aloy is a skilled hunter who moves with great precision, like a cat in pursuit of its prey. It'll be difficult to escape her attacks once she locks onto her target.
Nice.
Any foe can be conquered with the joint forces of her and her companions. In combat, Aloy often opens up with her freeze bomb and accumulates coil stacks while her teammates launch their attacks. Once an opponent is hit by a freeze bomb or chill water bomblet, the party's attack will be increased thanks to the Combat Override talent. When Aloy reaches 4 coil stacks, she enters the Rushing Ice state. This makes her arrows even more lethal as they'll pierce enemies with biting frost.
Nice.
Combine this with the talent Strong Strike to constantly increase Aloy's cryo damage during Rushing Ice. When her energy is full, Aloy unleashes her elemental burst that wipes out opponents in the target area. I hope you found my research as informative as I did. As a sorceress, I love making new discoveries, examining all kinds of otherworldly things, and using that knowledge to create something new. Maybe Aloy and I are more alike than it may seem. Though she plays so many roles in her homeworld, Aloy begins her journey into Vat with a clean slate. She'll get to know new places, meet new companions, and reconsider what her homeland means to her. With her survival skills, adventuring into Vat should be a breeze. If only she'd let me tinker with her bombs a little.
Yo, who is narrating? I gotta know. It always seems like it's a character who's close to the character of the trailer. Like, somebody who knows her personally. But okay. This character came out last year. Cool. Aloy seemed like a pretty cool character. Alright, Raiden Shogun. Oh, whoops, I went back to Aloy.
If memory serves me right, the last time.
Alright, Raiden Shogun. Let's go.
In the eyes of Inazumans, the Raiden Shogun is not only an archon, but also a symbol. She is their superior leader who embodies eternal thunder and radiance. Her Excellency, the almighty Narukami Ogosho, a 1,000-year-old protector of Inazuma.
Wow.
Little do they know that the current ruler of Inazuma, the Raiden Shogun, residing high up in Tenshukaku, is no longer the same Archon who emerged victorious from the Archon War.
Oh, okay.
The campaign begins.
Okay, interesting.
The Raiden Shogun is a martial artist in pursuit of perfection, with a sole goal of achieving eternity. Okay. No matter who stands in her way to eternal euthymia, they have no chance against the divine punishment that shines down with her bidding. It was the Raiden Shogun who originated the Inazuman art of sword and polearm, as well as a variety of blade forging techniques. When ascending swords and polearms, the amount of mora spent by the Raiden Shogun will be decreased. The Raiden Shogun's normal attack can combo up to 5 strikes with her polearm, dealing physical damage. Holding the attack button consumes a set amount of stamina to perform an upward slash, dealing physical damage. Despite claiming to be detached from the mortal world, perhaps the Raiden Shogun still remembers her role as an Archon. She accrues the aspirations of all living creatures for her chakra desiderata. When party members other than her use their elemental bursts, the Raiden Shogun will build up resolve stacks for chakra desiderata based on the energy cost of the bursts used. Then, use up all the resolve accrued to empower her next elemental burst.
Oh, wow.
The resolve accrued by chakra desiderata will dissipate once the Shogun is out of combat for a set time.
Okay.
The exalted Archon devoted to eternity.
Can save up. You can use everyone else's special, then leave hers for last. And then hers is...
What caused her to stop in her tracks and listen to the wishes of her people? After unlocking the talent Wishes Unnumbered, the elemental orbs and particles collected by nearby party members will grant additional resolve for chakra desiderata once per set time period. Upon tapping her elemental skill, the Raiden Shogun unveils a shard of her euthymia, dealing electro damage to nearby opponents, and granting nearby party members the Eye of Stormy Judgment. When characters carrying it attack and deal damage to opponents, the Eye of Stormy Judgment will unleash a coordinated attack, dealing AoE electro damage. The characters who gained the Eye of Stormy Judgment will have their elemental burst damage increased, based on the energy cost of the elemental bursts unleashed. Thanks to the Eye of Stormy Judgment, the Raiden Shogun can aid her teammates without being on the battlefield, boosting their offensive capabilities.
Now you shall perish!
This move was always so cool. Holy.
Gathering truths unnumbered and the resolve of wishes uncounted. The Raiden Shogun unleashes the Musou no Hitotachi, dealing AoE electro damage, using Musou Ishin in combat for a certain duration afterward. The damage dealt by Musou no Hitotachi and Musou Ishin's attacks is based on the number of chakra desiderata's resolve stacks consumed when this skill is used. While using Musou Ishin in combat, the Shogun's normal, charged, and plunging attacks will be regarded as elemental burst damage, and will be infused with electro damage which cannot be overridden. When such attacks hit opponents, she will regenerate energy for all nearby party members. While in this state, the Raiden Shogun's resistance to interruption is increased, and she is immune to electro-charge damage. After unlocking the talent Enlightenment, if the Shogun's energy recharge surpasses a certain value, the surplus energy recharge grants her a percentage-based electro damage bonus.
Yeah.
And more energy restoration while in Musou Ishin. The Raiden Shogun can accelerate the elemental burst rotation of her party while making the elemental bursts of her teammates more powerful. Such a seasoned leader like her remains fearless in the face of any encounter. In combat, the Raiden Shogun can use the Eye of Stormy Judgment to help teammates in difficult fights. When her teammates unleash elemental bursts or collect elemental orbs or particles,
filling up the bar,
the Shogun gains more resolve for chakra desiderata.
Use her ultimate attack.
Wait for an opportune moment to unleash Musou no Hitotachi to deal lethal damage to your enemies.
Okay.
And enter Musou Ishin to clean up the battlefield while regenerating energy for the whole party. to enable a round of elemental bursts that will strike foes down as fast as lightning.
So it's about kind of making
neighboring
like,
the Dark Sea, Inazuma has witnessed many a war.
Really about
for the pursuit of eternity and the prosperity of Inazuma, the Raiden Shogun stuck stubbornly to her path.
That complement each other.
But what let some bloom made others wither. There is no gain without the pain of loss. When facing their fears, Archons and mortals are all the same. Yet Archons are born arrogant. By attempting to grasp the heavenly principles, she brought a disaster upon mortals. Perhaps some may say that I'm overstating what happened, but I'm just speaking from experience after all.
Experience? Who is talking? So she brought disaster upon people. Okay. Who's the villain in this? Alright, we got the Sayu trailer. I think I'm actually ending off here because we have a lot of trailers left and this video is going to get way too long. So I'm going to cut it off here and then I'm going to split this into 2 parts. So that's going to be the end of this part. And yeah, as always, people, have an awesome day. Just is out.